Assignment 2 proposal for my guide to the Swan Valley that I created for the last assignment. I started with my web design and research, how it was interacted with, and how the layout formed on both desktop and mobile platforms. I found that the mobile platforms were really intuitive, and I actually really preferred using them on the mobile view just because it fit on the screen a lot better, and it was more appealing and easier to navigate. These were my inspiration images, the research I did mostly through Pinterest as well. I really like the focus on graphics and interactivity through scrolling and how images tend to overlap with text but in a really non-obstructive way. This inspired my type layout, the color choice, the layout, and overall layout, sorry, graphics. It included navigation and different animation as well. Moving on to my sitemaps. So these were the sitemaps for my laptop in a non-linear format, my laptop screen. It has 3 levels of navigation and it's categorized, and I think it's still really simple, but there's enough there to make sure you can find everything you're looking for. This is my more linear format for my mobile sitemap, and I tried to simplify it as much as you can so you wouldn't be able to find the individual pages for different venues, whereas they'd all be listed in the one page as well. Moving forward, we've got the user flow and navigation, which I thought was really helpful actually to actually do it out loud and in like physical environment and shuffle little cards around. So the first one is just finding the single informational page for the Guildford milk bar. So it starts at the home page and the menu comes up and you've got a choice between 4 options. We go to all locations, which gives you another drop down menu of the different categories of venues, and then we go down to cafes, and then we have the little Guildford milk bar button, which is what we were looking for. That's really, really cool. I did play with this for a bit, and I thought it was super informative. And then we move through navigation to the investigated topography and how the fonts all work together, how the typefaces work together, sorry. And seeing these all together as well was really helpful because I could see that some fonts were way too light for the size of the page. Once I started mocking them up digitally, I was like, all of the ultralight fonts I had originally wanted to use were far too light to appear on the page, so I changed most of them to be bolder and darker. And then I moved to the mobile and desktop mockup on XD. XD came with a bit of a learning curve, but we got there in the end. It's simple at this point, but it was just a mock-up, so I moved on to wireframes, and this was a focus on interactivity and hopefully really cool animations that I had in mind for the final design. It's not something I've done before, so I'm pretty excited about it. I really like the idea of spanning images across the entire interface and having them fade in and out, and having the titles of pages appear as the images fade out, if that makes sense. So once you click on buttons like these, they expand and the background disappears, and then you move into, and the heading moves into place, and all of the rest of the text appears. Throughout the design, there's a theme of scrolling imagery just across the entire page, a lot like my inspiration images. And then some more imagery here as well, like the map will fade in and out, and the menu bar appears on scroll up, but it disappears once you scroll down to give you that full viewing panel on the screen to really make use of the imagery as well, which would be really effective. It's a really attractive way to do things. And yeah, I think that might be it. Thank you very much for listening.